starts right now.
And we are starting off with a live look out at the Alamo City. It is something to see. It has been a wild weather weekend. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey what we can expect for the rest of this Sunday. Good morning. It is 6 o'clock. It is Sunday, February 11th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning.
So yesterday when you went home, just rainy day vibes.
It was great. I opened the garage. My husband was working, I don't know on what, but I was just, the rain, it just started pouring.
Nice.
Just sat in the garage with the door open, watching all the rain. And Sarah, I got about half an inch. I measured.
Wow, you were one of the lucky ones that got one of those downpours in the afternoon. For most of us, it was a pretty cloudy day, hit or miss showers, but this morning it is damp outside, but it is a little deceiving because it's quickly going to clear today. Here's a look outside right now. You can see it's 64 degrees and we are dealing with some mist and some fog. Visibility is down to only a mile in San Antonio, but as I show you the satellite picture, you can see skies are quickly clearing here. So we're going to end up having a sunny day. After dawn, skies will quickly clear and it will become pretty windy. Here's a look at today's forecast. Clearing skies, high right near 70, windy with gusts up to about 35 miles per hour. And notice how chilly it'll get tonight, around 10. Temperatures back into the 40s. That's because I expect cold front to move through. That cold front will set up chilly mornings and comfortable afternoons. And although we didn't get a lot of rain in San Antonio, the rain fell right where it should. I'll have a look at how that could potentially help out the drought situation in the hill country coming up.
Okay, taking a live look outside with traffic. Like Sarah said, you can see some of that rain on the lens there, and we definitely do have wet roads out there. So if you are getting up early, traveling early this morning, not a lot of cars on the road right now, but please take it nice and slow.
All right, this morning, new details on a memorial to remember the migrants who lost their lives.
Community members on the west side held a vigil last night to push humanity as tensions continue to rise along the Texas-Mexico border.
Our Avery Everett showing us how recent immigration legislation is pushing some people across San Antonio to come together.
Every step is taken with a purpose. And in putting together this memorial,
solidarity is beautiful, and we need more of it.
Organizers say they did the same.
The importance of today is to bring the community together.
Crosses hang over an altar, all to honor migrants who have died.
And it's all about respect. It's all about humanity.
Through art and education, a community came together Saturday night out on the west side,
with the remembrance of those that have passed,
hoping to create a safe space to remember those who didn't make it and call against the immigration laws targeting those who are trying.
We express ourselves in all sorts of ways, and that's how we reach the most people.
Just this week, a new state law increasing sentences for human smuggling took effect. It's just one of the multiple laws Governor Greg Abbott has recently signed involving immigration.
We're all fighting for a safer, more secure border and country.
This group takes the most concern over Senate Bill 4. It gives local law enforcement the authority to arrest people suspected of being in the country illegally. And Abbott says this would help deter these illegal crossings with the recent border influx. The Justice Department sued Texas to stop this law from taking effect. And some in San Antonio say it's the reason they're advocating.
Have a voice, and if you don't have a voice, then you have a lot of organizations that have a voice for you. But come to us and talk to us and let us know, so.
And that's your whole mission of today, is connecting people with their community.
With their community. Yes.
Organizers here say this is just the first step of many as they continue to call out and show support for migrants seeking a better life.
So the question now for so many is, how are local law enforcement agencies actually going to enforce Senate Bill 4 if it does take effect in March? So we talked to the sheriff after this bill was signed, and we have his responses already listed out on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. Well, February is National Cancer Prevention Month, and so we know a lot of you in and around our community have a lot of questions, especially when it comes to cancer. It is a pervasive issue in and around San Antonio. That is why we have a specialist joining us for a special leading essay coming up at 8 a.m. this morning. If you have any comments, questions, concerns as it pertains to cancer, prevention, treatment, what you need to know, you can submit those right now. Just head to the leading essay section of KSAT.com. Then join us later this morning, 8 a.m. There's a lot going on around the country. Other top stories we were following this morning: former President Donald Trump taking aim at President Biden's age and mental acuity.
At a rally in South Carolina Saturday afternoon, Trump addressed the recent report by special counsel Robert Hur on Biden's handling of classified documents and his memory.
So as ABC's Derek Dennis reports, the White House is now pushing back.
While speaking at an event in Conway, South Carolina on Saturday, Donald Trump attacking President Biden.
The special counsel's report tries to let Biden off by claiming that he is too mentally incompetent to convict at a trial. But if Joe Biden is not fit to charge, they're not going to charge him with a crime, but it's okay for him to become commander-in-chief.
Special counsel Robert Hur declined to prosecute the president over his handling of classified information and pointed out that unlike Trump, Biden cooperated with investigators, sat for a voluntary interview, and agreed to searches of his homes. Hur's report also described Biden as a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory and diminished faculties in advancing age, angering the president.
These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong.
Trump on Saturday says he has called for cognitive tests.
I actually think anybody running for president should have tests. I think, and I pass them every time.
The former president also attacking Nikki Haley, calling her brain dead and saying her husband deployed to get away from her.
Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away.
Haley, on a bus tour in her home state of South Carolina, quickly responding.
If you mock the service of a combat veteran, you don't deserve a driver's license, let alone being president of the United States. Donald, if you have something to say, don't say it behind my back. Get on a debate stage and say it to my face.
Major Michael Haley is currently deployed on a year-long stint in Africa with the South Carolina National Guard. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
And of course, today is somewhat of a national holiday. Taking a live look at Allegiant Stadium. Later today, it will be packed for, of course, the big game.
I can't wait till we can show Sarah Spivey's Weather Center. She is
fantastic.
Pumped up.
She's ready to go.
A lot of people ready to go. Also ready to go, law enforcement. They're on high alert ahead of this big game. Authorities are keeping an eye on the Las Vegas from the skies. Helicopters patrolling, looking for anything that looks suspicious. As of right now, officials have said there are no specific threats, but a heightened threat environment, of course, remains a concern. Fans say safety is top of mind.
How do you feel how they're doing here? Vegas is the first year they have a Super Bowl.
I'm really surprised. Nervous coming down just because it's Vegas and they're little girls, but honestly, we've had an amazing experience.
More than 30 federal, state, and local agencies involved in security prep. The FAA imposing temporary restrictions on Las Vegas airspace, declaring a no drone zone for at least a 30-mile radius.
And I know Tiffany Huertas did a story. We have a local canine unit over there in Vegas protecting all of the patrons of the Super Bowl.
I love that.
Yeah. Is Taylor Swift going to make it on time? Is she already there?
She should be either flying or arriving right now. I think it was around 8 a.m. she was going to arrive.
It's not weird that you know that.
Yeah.
All right, time now.
She gets full, she get a good night's rest. My producer, Joy, she knows too.
Okay, 6:08, 64 degrees.
After the break, go Spurs, go, Max.
Oh my goodness, this is a point of contention in the newsroom. The Huff loss to the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to break it all down. Some highlights from Wemby and some lowlights from a lot of the other teams.
64 degrees at 6:08. Having a hard time seeing out there because we do have some light drizzle, some fog out there. Sarah Spivey will tell us about it when we come back.
Morning, welcome back, and go Spurs, go. Game 3 of 9 on the Rodeo road trip. The 10-win San Antonio Spurs visiting the 20-win Brooklyn Nets. Let's take a look at the highlights. All right, first quarter, Victor Wembanyama. Look at this. Little pullback mid-range. Boom, that's a 1-point lead. This is San Antonio's 3rd game in 4 days, remember. Desperate for a win. Devin Vassell, wait for it. Oh, beautiful jump pass and splash from the outside. That's Cedi Osman. Catch and shoot. Osman, nothing but net. First quarter, though, clock dwindling out. Keldon Johnson, Euro floater over Dennis Schroeder for the bucket. Other end, Spurs cannot corral the board. And, oh no, just open in the corner and splash. Miles Bridges, Hale Bridges making the Spurs pay. Second quarter, San Antonio down 5. A Wemby turnaround, fade away, no doubt about it. Oh, so smooth. Although the halftime score was 60-48 in favor of Brooklyn, Spurs down 10 now. All right, let's say Vassell, Wemby, and the French Rook drain it from the logo. I mean, come on, look at this guy. That's some Steph Curry range, only Wemby is 7'6". Team high 21 points, but the Nets, they are benefiting from just overall better shooting, better passing, lack of defense, and Nick Claxton rising up for the slam. Up 9 in the third. This one really getting out of reach before Devin Vassell's triple barely makes a dent in the scoreboard, and the final score, San Antonio falls 123-103. Wemby leading the Spurs in scoring. Dominic Barlow grabbing 9 boards. Cam Thomas on the Nets leading the floor, 25 points. Claxton 11 boards in his Nets debut. Dennis Schroeder, 12 assists, 2 turnovers. Here's what Wemby had to say after the game.
It's not more complicated than that. It's just hard to do, You just got to work our ass off and keep going and not change our ways, even though sometimes things, like they're not going our way.
It's been a tough season, but there are some people that think you should tank for the rest of the season, get a high pick. What do you think? Let us know. Next up for the Spurs, back in action tomorrow night in Toronto. Tip-off is set for 6:30 p.m.
And if you love HEB, you have another reason to stay tuned for the commercials during the big game tonight. HEB will air its big game ad. This is their tease right here. This woman's on the aisle. Nice. And then she's like, what? I love it. It's on their Instagram right now. So they're saying they will showcase some of their products that turn heads. So, of course, we have that preview for you right there on KSAT.com.
Okay, so any good plans for the Super Bowl today?
Taking it easy.
Okay.
Also,
I don't know if we're allowed to say the title of
the SB.
There you go. So we're just going to say the big game. There's copyright infringement and whatnot. But any big plans for the big game? Look at us.
We're being chill and stuff, but Sarah Spivey is pumped up.
Look at that. Just look at the commitment.
All the swag.
Let me tell you about my swag here really closely. Okay, so I've been a lifelong Chiefs fan. This is my dad's rugby jersey, official Chiefs rugby jersey from the 1990s. This is a knockoff Chiefs jersey from the 90s as well. Of course, a hat. And then behind me, yes, I've got number 87. And I will be proud to admit that I got this long before the, Taylor Swift stuff. So, yes, I'm excited. If you don't have anybody to root for, maybe you could join the Chiefs side.
Pick me.
Yes.
Choose me.
I've got pick me energy today. Okay, hey, take a look at the Authority radar. We do have some areas of light rain out there right now. It's mainly just drizzle and mist around San Antonio with some pockets of lighter rain, especially out to the east side of Bexar County. But all of the storminess is up near Round Rock right now. As we take a look at how much rain we have seen compared to the drought, it's true. We did not see a ton of rain in San Antonio since Friday night, but the rain that we did see fell exactly where we need it to. Extreme and severe drought out across the hill country and up toward the Austin area. So areas like Kerrville, Bernie, Bandera, and Fredericksburg under that extreme drought. Take a look at the rainfall, though, since Friday night. Boom, right over that area where we need the rain the most. Some places up to 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. So very good rain across those areas. It'll be interesting to see when the drought monitor comes out this week on Thursday if there's been any improvements. I expect there will be. Right now outside, this is the picture. If you're an early riser, you're out and about this morning, you'll have to deal with drizzle and mist. Visibility is down to a mile in San Antonio, down to 1.5 miles at Stinson, less than a mile in Castroville. But you can see that things are already starting to clear out to the west. And so temperatures are in the low 60s right now around San Antonio. It's 64, but it's cooler in Kerrville where the front is moving through right now. We're quickly going to see skies clear. This dampness is temporary, and today is actually going to be a pretty sunny day. Here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Temperatures in the mid-60s by 10. Skies will be clearing by 10. It'll be mostly sunny to completely sunny and windy today. We're going to have to contend with some wind gusts. We'll be looking at a high right around near 70 degrees, and then it'll get pretty chilly this evening with temperatures falling into the 50s and 40s after sunset. I mentioned that those wind gusts are going to be pretty breezy. Here's a look at the wind gusts today from the northwest, gusting up to about 35 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 miles per hour during the afternoon. But then later on tonight, we'll see the winds pick up again. So it's going to be gusty again this evening. Let's talk briefly about the weather setup here. San Antonio has been on the tail end of this system. It's a much larger system. Take a look at the snowfall across the panhandle this morning and severe weather across areas from Dallas to Houston. There's severe thunderstorm watch in those areas. Meanwhile, we've got a front that's currently moving through San Antonio and the Hill Country. This initial cool front is going to bring us some drier air. That's what's going to allow us to see sunny skies. But then there's another cool front. Notice again all of the snowfall across the panhandle. This is what's going to allow us to see cooler mornings, especially cooler weather, especially in the mornings. Now, take a look at temperatures behind this front. Much colder across the Rockies in the teens. Now, I do not expect us to see a freeze from this cold air, but again, it will be noticeable in the mornings. Take a look at the morning lows. 40 degrees tomorrow morning, 39 on Tuesday morning, and 42 on Wednesday morning. Now, it'll quickly warm with plenty of sunshine and end up being comfortable Monday and Tuesday. Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day, a high of 65. We see rain return to the forecast by Friday, and there are indications that we'll see a strong cold front on Saturday. So when do we expect the last freeze in San Antonio? Well, I'll show you typically when we see the last freeze coming up in the next half hour. We'll be back right after this.
It's Rodeo San Antonio, and if you're heading out to the grounds this morning, scan this QR code for everything you need to know. The 75th anniversary is underway, and of course, there is something for everyone. There's plenty of stuff to do at the rodeo grounds until February 25th. We have that complete breakdown of how you can get there, parking, tickets, music, acts, and more on our website right now.
All right, time is 6:23, 64 degrees.
Let's take a look at these lotto numbers. 091, Fireball 4, Daily 45060, Fireball 8.
And your cash 5, 689 1133, Lotto Texas 4 6 8 34 39 40, Powerball.
I didn't play, but it's over 200.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to start playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that point, you could be like Taylor Swift and fly to Vegas from Japan. Here are your numbers: 27, 28, 34, 37, 44, big number 8. Power play 2. Good luck. We'll be right back. All right, check it out. This is from the Mardi Gras River Parade and celebration yesterday along the Riverwalk. Locals and tourists getting a chance to soak up a little New Orleans flavor as Mardi Gras themed floats made their way down the San Antonio River at the Museum Reach and, of course, at the Arneson River Theater. Beads, music, and, of course, dancing. That's a lot of people.
Looks fun.
I think Mardi Gras is for fun, hanging out with the people that you enjoy being around, family, friends, whatever, meeting new people and enjoying the culture and the environment together.
I just love how many people are out and about.
I love it.
This is awesome. All right, in addition to the parades, a new Riverwalk Royal Court was crowned. So this is just a few of the Mardi Gras celebrations around the city taking place before the start of Lent. This is awesome.
Yeah. Love it.
I love that so many people were out and about, didn't let some of the morning rain or the downpour. I saw a downpour.
This happened in the evening, so I mean, it was kind of past by then. I mean, you're just dealing with like low humidity, but it's still like nice. It's not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous.
Same.
Time now, just about 6:28, 64 degrees.
Before we head to break, a reminder, some important dates you need to know as we get closer to the Texas primary election. So the deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot is February 23rd, so that's creeping up on us. And you can also vote early from February 20th through March 1st. And of course, Election Day on March 5th. We have a list of all that voting information, the places where you can vote early as well. Just head to our website, KSAT.com.
We're starting off with a live look out at the roads. As you can see, it is wet out there. So if you are traveling out and about, we know a lot of people heading to church early in just a little bit. So drive safely, be smart. And you can see people already there on Loop 410 at Ingram North. So if anything does pop up, we will keep you posted. But for now, good morning. 6:32. It is Sunday. It is February 11th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning.
Yesterday, you said you got a downpour.
Yeah, I got a half an inch at my house. It was a beautiful shower, Sarah. And I know you said those showers were spotty. This morning I walked out. Still a little light rain.
Yeah.
But Sarah, more importantly, we need to address the Chiefs.
What is there to address? I mean, this is the way it looks every day, right?
Also, Sarah, okay, your 90s knockoff swag, I mean, Taylor Swift is wearing vintage stuff like that to the games. So, I mean, you're right on par.
Thank you.
That jersey can probably go for some good money, that rugby one. No, I'm talking about the rugby one.
Oh, the rugby one? Yeah, my dad was in a rugby team back in Kansas City, and they got to be the Chiefs for that one. So that was cool. By the way, if you're planning on watching the game tonight, know that for any kind of parties, it is going to be pretty nice. A little cool out there, no matter who you're rooting for, even if you're rooting for nobody. Super Bowl party tonight. We're going to be seeing temperatures clear and cool into the 60s. All right, outside right now, we have got visibility reduced to about 2 miles because of areas of fog and mist. And then temperatures are in the 60s as well. But this is temporary because we're quickly going to be looking at skies clearing. It's going to be a beautiful day. 65 at 10, 67 at noon, right around 70 for the high. Sunny and windy. We'll have gusts up to 35 miles per hour today, so a little bit on the windy side. Now, a front is going to move through, and that's going to set up cool mornings, chilly mornings, in fact. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, our morning lows will be right near 40 degrees. Our morning lows are going to climb up on Thursday and Friday because we have a chance for rain. We'll talk more about that coming up in the forecast. And then another front is expected to arrive early next week. That's going to make next weekend's morning low on Sunday awfully close to freezing. We'll keep you posted about that. When do we expect? Usually on average, the last freeze in San Antonio is at the end of February. So it's not out of the ordinary for us to see a freeze in the hill country. Those last freezes can be as late in the season as late March. So we'll continue to keep you posted about that extended forecast. For now, I'll give you what you can expect over the next few days, including a chance for rain in the week ahead. Details coming up.
Thank you, Sarah. Top story this morning, the Bexar County District Attorney now trying to clear up things with his staff when it comes to that relationship with the Austin-based criminal justice reform group, the Wren Collective.
We have been reporting on this relationship for more than a week after receiving more than 200 pages of text messages exchanged between First Assistant DA Christian Hendrickson and the head of the Wren Collective, Jessica Brand, and DA Joe Gonzalez.
Right, multiple sources with the DA's office telling KSAT that Gonzalez actually had to hold an all-staff meeting on Zoom earlier this week discussing the release of the messages, in particular comments about specific cases being handled by the DA's office. Now, those sources telling us at KSAT that Gonzalez told his staff that the Wren Collective, they helped with press releases and they helped with talking points with the media.
He said they did not influence any decisions made in the handling of cases. There are messages between Hendrickson and Brand that discuss not seeking the death penalty in the case of Otis McCain, who was convicted in 2021 for the murder of San Antonio police detective Benjamin Marconi.
Now, sources also telling us Hendrickson commented during the meeting about the Eric Cantu case, saying they dropped charges against the teen who was shot by Officer James Brennan back in 2022. They dropped charges because they would not be able to prosecute him, and that dismissing the charges would allow Cantu's family to be in his hospital room with him. Remember, last week, Brennan's legal team subpoenaed all of the communications between the DA's office and the Wren Collective as it pertains to the Brennan case.
So we have also requested all of the messages between Gonzalez, Hendrickson, and Brand from their personal devices as well. And we are still waiting for those documents. A spokesperson for Gonzalez told KSAT in a statement he would no longer be commenting on these messages. So, of course, this is a story we are following very closely. For more in-depth coverage and a better look at the timeline of the Wren Collective's involvement with the Bexar County DA, we have a complete coverage and a timeline on our website, ksat.com.
Well, border officials say they've seized, get this, more than $9 million worth of meth seized at the World Trade Bridge. It all happened on Tuesday from this week. A Freightliner was searched by a CBP officer, and during that search, well, officers discovered more than 1,000 pounds of alleged meth. They estimate that it is worth more than $9.5 million on the streets.
Nearly 4 years after 3 people died in a north side car crash, San Antonio police say they've arrested a man they say was involved. This is Tana Johnson. He's facing a manslaughter charge in the deaths of Brianna Sorrell and James Ewell and Derek Taiwan. Investigators say those 3 were inside the car Johnson was driving as he raced another car along McCullough and Pinewood Lane. This happened back on the afternoon of June 24th in 2020. It all ended when Johnson lost control and then crashed into a tree. Johnson was booked at the Bexar County Jail.
Well, an update to a story we've been telling you through the weekend happening in Florida. That investigation into what caused this deadly fiery plane crash on a Florida interstate. So take a look if you haven't seen it. Authorities say the pilot and the co-pilot of this small plane, they were killed when it went down on I-75 near Naples, Florida. The pilot reporting the failure of both engines. 3 other people running for their lives from this burning wreckage. Now the FAA and the NTSB, they are holding a joint investigation trying to figure out what exactly happened here.
Extraordinarily unusual for both engines to fail. So it can happen from lack of fuel starvation, running out of gas, or it could happen by birds being sucked down both engines, but extraordinarily rare.
Now, the pilot tried to make an emergency landing on the highway, clearly crashed, causing a traffic nightmare as the scene was cleared out.
Now to an Oklahoma judge stepping down amid controversy. She is making headlines this morning because she's accused of sending more than 500 texts and emojis to her bailiff. And she did it all while presiding over a murder trial involving the death of a toddler. Some of the texts were critical of the prosecutor and the defendants.
It doesn't matter whether it was a traffic case or whether it was a divorce case or whether it was a first-degree murder case. I texted during a trial, and that was inappropriate.
As part of her resignation, she has agreed to never seek judicial office in Oklahoma again.
Well, back here in Texas, the state will likely add jobs at a slower pace this coming year. So this comes after years of robust employment growth. All of this, according to the Dallas Fed. Projections, so the state will add, get this, nearly 284,000 jobs this year. That is a 2% increase from 2023, according to the projection. Now, it's also a pace that's in line with the state's job growth before pandemic. And the state's economic, well, all of the incentives, all of the businesses coming here. By year's end, though, Texas employment estimated to hit 14.4 million jobs. By contrast, Texas added about 427,000 jobs in 2022. That is about a 3.1% pace, and the result of the rapidly growing labor force fueled by, of course, strong domestic and international economic forces, especially here in the Lone Star State. Time now is 6:40, 64 degrees.
And let's take a look outside with live cam. I experienced some wet roads this morning. I had a light shower at my house in the city's northeast side. Sarah says, we still have some of those light rain mist lingering, but it's going to clear up and be a beautiful day. She'll explain when we come back. As we get ready for the big game, the audience this year, a little different. Lots of people saying it's the Taylor Swift effect. Get this. This year, the NFL attained its highest regular season female viewership since it started collecting this data back in 2000. Nielsen reports that females currently represent 46% of the big game audience. And there was a 53% spike among teenage girls.
Nice. According to
NFL. I never remember even watching as a teenage girl. And now as a older teenage girl, I'm just like, I love it.
All right, well, can't talk about the big game without talking about food.
Of course, Max's favorite part.
Yeah.
So if you're heading to the grocery store this morning, you may have a tougher time finding avocados.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's because there's been a lack of rain and warmer temps. Of course, that drought resulting in fewer avocados being shipped from Mexico. So the western part of Mexico, which supplies 90% of them, has been very hot and dry.
Interesting. Meanwhile, big game foods, they're a little more expensive this year. That's because the price of groceries, they're slightly higher.
So the National Retail Federation says total big game spending expected to reach a record $17.3 billion. That averages out to just over $86 per person.
You know what? That's not as much as I thought, considering like some of the numbers we talk about for like Valentine's Day or Christmas are egregious. $86 for Super Bowl Sunday? That's not bad.
Per person, Max. If you're having 12 people over?
Okay, that's ridiculous. Are you having 12 people over?
No,
If so, where was my invite? Must
You
have
wouldn't
got
have
lost in the
come.
mail.
You wouldn't have come anyway.
Doesn't matter. The invite's always appreciated. All right, people are still paying more for food, according to food spending report by Wells Fargo. Ground beef prices, they are up nearly 12% compared to a year ago. But the price of fresh chicken wings, hey, fun fact, cheaper, averaging $3.26 a pound. So here's one tip. The same report suggests canned soft drinks will cost more than bottled ones. That's partly because the cost of aluminum is higher.
Ooh. Okay, so what are the most popular
I just want to give a
foods
huge
here?
shout out to our producer, Joy, for doing this extensive research.
I love this. Okay, so take a look at your screen.
Okay.
These are the most popular. Chips and dip, number one, 70. I'm a big dip girl. I love dips for dinner. 52% is pizza, 45% alcohol, fruits and veggies. You know, you always have to put out the carrot platter with the ranch.
What's it called? Like a crudité? Crudité, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And then pre-made apps at 37. I guess that includes like the wings, even though I think wings is a main meal.
No.
No? You think? No, wings is a meal, Max. Hold on, what?
No, wings is a snack.
Max, I can eat like 5 wings.
You're a small person, though.
No, I think that's normal. 5 wings is a meal.
For me, wings are a meal.
You're both small people. I'm
You're
sure there are some
garbage
people watching.
disposal, Max.
All right, so one of the biggest stars of the week is not even a football player. ABC's Whit Johnson introducing us to one of the youngest sportscasters.
What's up, dude? My name is Jeremiah.
11-year-old Jeremiah Fennell stealing the show during Super Bowl week.
I'm a big fan.
Selected by the NFL Network as their youth sportscaster.
What is the offensive game plan? What is the hardest part about going against the Chiefs? I started to do this at the age of 7 years old because I wasn't able to play sports due to some medical issues, but I still like the sports environment, so I decided to hone my craft in journalism at the age of 7.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Though unable to play contact sports due to a rare neurological condition he was born with, Jeremiah developed a love for football, watching games on TV. At just 7, posting this Raiders highlights report online.
Down the sideline, touchdown!
More recently, announcing youth football games in his hometown of Las Vegas.
Oh, he's gone! He could be gone!
This week, taking his reporting to a whole new level, going one-on-one with 49er linebacker Fred Warner.
Does your defense have a game plan specifically designed to slow down Travis Kelce?
I guess we'll have to find out on Sunday.
Next up, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
One thing that I noticed about you is that whether you're on the field or the sidelines, you bring all the energy to the team. You're like the life of the party. Let's be real.
Having a bit of fun with Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
You look around, all of these reporters waiting to interview you. I want to have a little bit of fun first before all the chaos begins. So is that okay?
Let's do it, man.
A star young reporter already living his dream.
That was awesome.
The most I mean, he could do this.
He's great.
He's great.
I mean, some of our reporters should watch out. He's coming.
Seriously.
All right, taking a live look at Allegiant Stadium. We're still a few hours away. What is it, like 11 hours away now? And I'm excited. You know who's very excited?
Who?
Sarah Spivey.
Oh,
Sarah
yes. Go Chiefs! Okay, yes, it is something. I've been a lifelong Chiefs fan. It is really something to see your team go from the underdog to the team that everybody roots for in the Super Bowl to the team that everybody roots against in the Super Bowl. It is what it is. It is what it is, and I'm happy to represent.
I never thought I would be a Chiefs fan, but here we are.
There you go. A lot of people have asked me why
I just needed Taylor Swift.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me why I'm a Chiefs fan. So I was born in Kansas City before we moved here, and you know my parents raised me to watch the Chiefs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, very excited for the big game. And if you are driving out and about early this morning, you will run into some areas of mist and fog around San Antonio. Out in Kerrville, you can see that things have started to clear. That's because a front moved through. But this is 410 at Ingram and very foggy with some areas of mist and drizzle. 410 at McCullough. So some dampness, some road spray out there this morning. As we take a look at the radar, the authority radar, all of the storminess is up near the College Station in Bryan. Bryan area at the moment, but we are seeing some light rain around San Antonio, especially for areas closer to the east, nearer to Seguin. We'll go ahead and zoom into those areas. Seguin seeing some light to moderate rain at the moment, some light rain for Floresville, some mist and drizzle for Gonzales, and yes, some mist around San Antonio. All in all, though, things are going to clear out very quickly for us. In fact, you can see the clearing line right there working its way through Bandera County. Here's a look at the broader weather setup. I'm going to step to the side here so that you can see this. Look at this big dynamic system. Snowfall across the Panhandle near Lubbock, and lots of it too. Then out near Dallas-Fort Worth, we've got some storminess, severe weather possible for East Texas early this morning. And the reason why we're seeing clearing is because we've got this initial cool front that's moving through the hill country as we speak. It's going to be bringing in some drier air and allowing for our skies to clear. Here's a look at the current humidity, current dew point. You can see how humid it is off through San Antonio into the east and how dry it is to the west. So that'll be the first change that you'll notice, clearing skies and dropping humidity. So out there right now, it's muggy with dew points in the 60s. By about 10 o'clock in the morning, that's when dew points are going to fall, drier air moving in place. And in the afternoon, it is going to be very dry with dew points in the 30s. Now, it is going to be windy. Now, with a few showers out there at the moment, we'll quickly see clearing skies, and take a look at those winds. Sustained from the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. But we will see a few gusts of up to 35 miles per hour. So if you're going to be enjoying some time outdoors for the big game tonight, and perhaps you have some very flimsy light paper plates or napkins, make sure to anchor those down or else you'll be fishing for them out there, because again, it is going to be windy. Near 70 degrees this afternoon, but totally sunny and a very nice day. Now, I mentioned that initial cool front, which is going to allow for drier air to move in. There's another cool front off to the west that's going to allow for colder air to move in. And we'll really feel that colder air in the mornings in the week ahead. Tomorrow morning 40, Tuesday morning 39, Wednesday morning 42, but it'll be nice and comfortable in the afternoon. So jacket weather in the morning, you won't need the jackets in the afternoon. And by Thursday, it starts to get a little humid again. That's ahead of our next rain chance. It looks like the higher rainfall totals Thursday through Friday will be south of San Antonio, but there's still an opportunity for some decent rain in San Antonio on Friday. You can see a 60% chance for rain, and then there are indications that we'll see a stronger cold front heading into next weekend. We'll be back with more news after the break.
Lots of kiddos focused on STEM took part in some serious Lego robotics competitions.
All right, so we showed it to you live yesterday. They're in 4th through 12th grade. So take a look. Some of the action yesterday. 2 teams from Kerrville, 1 from Tybee High School, and 1 from Tally Elementary. They competed for some serious bragging rights. Team going head-to-head in a series of contests. This is video from the elementary school event at the School of Science and Technology. The winning team, they're going to be state championships in March in Belton, not too far from Temple. Then the International Championship is going to be held in April in Houston.
Very cool. And if you haven't checked it out, head to our KSAT Kids section of our website. There's tons of stuff, including all of our Science with Sarah segments. They're always a lot of fun. You can find it on ksat.com.
All right, time now is 6:56, 64 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Damp out there right now, but we are quickly going to see clearing skies today. It's going to be sunny and windy with gusts up to 35 and a high near 70. Chilly mornings the next few mornings in the upper 30s and low 40s. Then we'll have pretty nice weather for Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day. A good chance for rain on Friday in San Antonio. And then a stronger cold front arrives ahead of next weekend. Our highs will likely only be in the 50s for next weekend, guys.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, well, go Taylor's boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
We still have a lot of time.
Go Chiefs.
We're going to take an hour-long break for Good Morning America. We'll see you back here 8 a.m.
See y'all at 8.